Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Hopefully you guys are doing all right, and we are actually going to be flipping the script a little bit. We're going to be doing some solving, but we're going to be solving quadratic equations by factoring. Okay, so looking at some of our factoring, we're looking at the GCF, maybe even square root method, maybe AC method, quadratic formula, and possibly completing the square. Now, when we're looking at all of these, they will all give us basically the same answers. However, some will take a little bit longer than others. And when it comes to GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, they're not going to say, solve this using completing the square. Solve this using the quadratic formula. No, they're just going to say, factor it. Or they're just going to say, solve. So you get to pick which one will work for you. All right. So as you guys are coming in, hello. I know we want to kind of break things down, and I have basically 1 hour to do all of this. So this is going to be a quick, hopefully not too dirty type of thing. So we have our A plus 1 and our A plus 2. And we're going to set that equal to 0. Yes. Hello, Braids. How are you? I'm always going to say selling. I'm always going to say it incorrectly. And Norman, how are you? All right. So if we take a look, anytime they give you two parentheses, it's already factored. Okay, so half the job is already done. So now all we have to do is take each of the parentheses and set it equal to 0. So when they already give you parentheses, just set each of those parentheses equal to 0 and then solve for your A. So this one, subtracting 1. So that means we have A is equal to -1. Then we're subtracting 2. Then we have our A is equal to -2. All right? Boom. Done. I'm doing all right. Just got a little shiz of coughs here. All right? So that's it. So when they give you parentheses, you just set both of those equal to 0 because they already did the factoring for you. So what happens if they give us this? I know, I'm like doing numbers this time. So we have x squared minus 11x plus 19 is equal to -5. Now, go ahead. As you guys are coming in, go ahead and tap away. So anytime you see an equation and my highest degree is a 2, okay, to the second power, that means my equation should equal 0. All right? Now, a lot of people say, well, what about completing the square, Audrey? Like, you know, if the equals constant, that'll be fine. But the only thing is, only part of it, that'll be fine. But the only thing is, only part of also the -19 if you want to take it that route. But me personally, I want to set it equal to 0 to see if I can factor it either using the AC method or even just something simpler. So if I add 5 on both sides, just so my equation will equal 0. Excuse me, guys. It's like you ever have like a tickle in your throat and you're just like, all right, enough of that. So we have x squared minus 11x plus 24 equals 0. So now, since my leading coefficient is 1, that means I can go ahead and split my x's. So now we have to think. What two numbers multiplied together will give me a 24 and add together to give me a negative 11? Okay. Oh, no problem, Fish Beats. All right, so Pog is saying negative 3 and negative 8. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Oh, God is good. Thank you for the follow. All right, so a negative times a negative will give me positive. And then a negative plus a negative add together will still give me a negative. So we have that negative 11. Okay, so Ohio, make sure you watch out. It's 24, not 28. Okay, Miss B agrees with Pog. Thank you. Okay, negative 3 and negative 8. There we go. All right, there we go. So now that we found our numbers, set them both equal to 0. So that means this gives me x minus 8 equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0. So if I add 8 on both sides here, 8's cancel, and that gives me x equals 8. And if I add 3 over here, because we always want to do the inverse, so that will give me x is equal to 3. Okay. I knew ahead of time that we're going to get 2 solutions because my highest degree told me. Okay. All right. How are we feeling with this? Okay, so if you see parentheses already, just set them equal to 0. If not, you can make it equal to 0 by adding or doing the opposite in order to find our constant. Sorry, thought I was gonna sneeze. It's like there's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm like falling apart over here. All right, so I want you to try this one. So we have n squared minus 10n plus 22 equals negative 2. So I want you to tell me, what are my solutions? This made your head hurt. You just got here. So Laura, are you saying my answer is 10 and 2? Or are you saying the factors? Factors, okay. Take a look at the factors again. Yes, we are. And it's not 3. Was you wrong? I didn't see an answer, Vicky. Oh, you have an 8 and 24? Yeah, that's wrong. For your factors? Yeah, that'll be incorrect. Okay. Your dad's organs? What was the question you put in? Okay, Brian is saying adding 2. Okay, I'm curious of what my 2 answers for N will be. Okay, so you're saying 6 and 4. Okay, Awesome Creations is saying 9 and 0. Okay, saying 6 and 4 is the answers. Okay. Hey, Robert. Okay, so let's take a look at it because I'm getting some interesting answers. First off, my equation. If my highest degree is to the second power, unless you're doing completing the square, it should always equal 0. Okay, so I want to set this equal to 0. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So now I have n squared minus 10n plus 24 is equal to 0. So now, knowing that my leading coefficient is 1, I can go ahead and split my n's. So that means I have 1 n here and 1 n here. So now I need to think, what 2 numbers multiplied together will give me 24 and added together will give me a negative 10. So if I do opposite, we got negative 6 and negative 4, because a negative 6 plus a negative 4 will give me a negative 10. So and from here, set each of the parentheses equal to 0. So this one, when we add 6, you have n is equal to positive 6. And here, we're going to add 4. And we got n is equal to positive 4. Okay. All right. Okay. So it can't be negative 12 and 2. Because we have to think. If you say negative 12 and a positive 2, that won't give me a positive 24. That will give me a negative 24. So it's got to be 2 numbers multiplied together to give me my constant, which is a 24, and add together to give me my middle term. Okay. Of course, I will. All right. So let's try. Let me shoot over here. Let's see. Okay. Give this a try. My live just popped up. Oh, okay. Hey, Janice. Yeah. It's either do it that way or completing the square, which I know some people think there's too many missing parts. So I just make it easy for myself and just make it equal to 0 and then factor from there. Oh, chocolate. Okay, I see your pog. Okay, any other answers? I definitely want to give you guys an opportunity to just kind of play around with this before I put my little 2 cents in. Okay, Vasic saying 4 and -1 as well as Pog. Fishbait saying 4 and -1. Okay. How many want me to just go ahead and just break it down right now? Okay. All right, Fishbait, look at you. Me. Okay. 2 more me's, and I'll be sold. Okay, got 1 more with Amanda. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. Ask for 2. I get 4 more. All right. So, one thing. My equation is not equal to 0. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to subtract this 6. And I'll put it with this -18 because they are like terms. So now that comes down with 6n squared minus 18n, and then you have your minus 24. What do you notice? What do you notice? Okay, you got that part? The GCF. Thank you. So you're always looking to see if there's a GCF. We have 6, we have our 18, we have our 24. They all have 6 in common. Okay, so we have our 6, and it's not n because all of them do not have n squared. So we have 6 parentheses. Then we still have our n squared. Okay, just taking our variable out. Then we have a minus 18 divided by 6. That gives me 3n. And then minus 24 divided by 6 gives us 4. Okay. Where's 12? On another problem? Because there's no 12 here. Yep, so all of it is divisible by 6. Okay, not factor out of 4, not factor out of 3, a 6. So now inside this parenthesis, am I in there? Am I in there? So we need to think, what two numbers multiplied together will give me a -4 and added together to give me a -3? Oh, okay, yep. So once you factor that out, Ohio, then you're going to subtract it from the original expression, which is that 6n squared minus 18n minus 24. And then you'll get what's inside of the parentheses. Oh, well, thank you, Lisa. Okay. True. All right. So, I have a -4, which I agree with, but not a -1. It'll be a +1. Okay? Because -4 times 1 will give me -4, and then -4 plus 1 will give me a -3. So now, set them all equal to 0. So even a trifling friend is going to get to 0. Okay. Good. Okay. Yep. There you go, Miss B. Okay. Where did I lose you, Amanda? Okay, good. Sure, that's exactly true. Okay. Amanda, where did I lose you? I think you probably might be typing. So, first thing, 6, we have to move this 6 over with the 18 so it can equal 0. Then we have 6n squared minus 18n minus 18n. So that means I'm going to need, after I do the -18 and -6, I get -24. Then I have to factor out my 6. So when I factor out my 6, I have my n squared plus 18n, and then your minus 4. So then I'm looking inside the parentheses just to see what I can break down. Since my leading coefficient is 1, I split the ends. And then I take what two numbers multiplied together will give me a -4 and add it together to give me a -3. So it's going to be a -4 and a +3. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I'm good that you're here. All this for a cup of coffee? I know, right? So once you set your sets x equal to everything, or equal to 0, you have your 6 cannot equal 0, so that's done. Then we have our n is equal to 4. Then here, our n will equal to -1. So let's try another one. Okay, go ahead. Keep on tapping. This is awesome. Thank you so much. Now what happens if we get 7x squared plus 2x equals 0? Can I divide it both sides by 6? Yeah, you can. To get rid of the 6, you can do that. Yep, and you still have the same thing. It's just not going to equal 0. It's going to cancel out. But then we don't need the 0 as a placeholder. We can get that out. Alright, so Pog is saying that we do have a GCF, and the GCF is X. Do we agree? Okay, so Cover is saying yes. Zeb's in here. What's Zeb? Okay, Awesome Creations is saying yes. Okay. So if we have a GCF, factor that out. Okay. YS, how are you? What am I doing next? Okay, set them equal to 0. 0 product rule, yes. Setting the factors equal to 0. What? How did you remove the x from the 2? We factored it out. Okay, so the x is my GCF. So whatever you do, you take your original divided by your GCF. That's how you get your x by itself. Yep, that's right, Ohio. That's it. So, okay, it's not -12. There you go. So if you set each of the parentheses equal to 0, I don't know why I wrote 10. It's supposed to be a 0. So this one's already solved. This one's going to give you x is equal to -2 sevenths. because we subtracted the 2, and then we divide by 7. Okay, basically Ohio. So the GCF is basically taking one of the factors from the bigger factor. And then we divide. Okay, after we set everything equal to 0, we just divide so we can solve for x. Okay. All right, let's try another one. Okay, as soon as we get to 10K, we'll try another one. Whew. So just do like a quick math tap. Quick tap, quick tap, quick tap. So while you guys are tapping, here's another thing. If for some weird reason you can't stay and you really want to get the results or just want to see some of the things, you can go here. Okay, type in here. And then what I would love for you to do is do this, do this, do this, definitely do this, and the last part. Okay, so that is where all of my recordings, I just put up last night's recording, I want to say less than an hour ago. But you can get all of those on there. So you have that. Now, if you are, okay, so we're really going to try to promote this and get everything situated. So if you are thinking about taking your GED, your ASVAB, your TEAS test, or your college algebra, and you're just like, these tests are making me crazy, I don't know what to do, well then, why don't you take one of my mock tests? So because since I really screwed up, couldn't do the 16th because my stuff was all kinds of jacked up, but that's all right, we learn and we grow. So these are the dates. We have next Wednesday, but we have this Saturday and Sunday and next Saturday and Sunday for your mock practice test. So if you want to come in, it's generally $10 for anybody coming in. But if you want the replays, copy the test, and my notes, that's an additional cost of $25, unless you are one of my TikTok subscribers, which then you will just have to pay $15. So yeah, 35 questions. Roughly, we're just breaking down for an hour. You are sitting there doing the test. You're not asking questions. It's almost like how you're going to react when you're actually taking the test. Then afterwards, I'm going to go through the concept step by step, and then you'll be able to get copies of whatever you need to get copies of. All right, so that's just something that we can definitely do just to help lower those test anxieties. All right, so I can throw out some suggestions as well. All right, thank you so much, guys. All right, so the next one. So we have our 15a squared minus 3a is equal to 3 minus 7a. Let's see if we can get... No worries. And if you want to know where to register for it, because I keep forgetting to tell people, if you click on my profile, the very first link that you see, it's inside there. Because I think a lot of you guys have the knowledge, but just because of breaking down concepts, sometimes it just throws you off. Hey, baby. Cindy saying add 7a to both sides. Okay, so I got one person saying add 7a on both sides, another person saying add 3a on both sides. Okay, so you can place in standard form, and then the AC method, then subtract 3 on both sides. Okay. Okay, Steve. Factoring doesn't work. So you're saying quadratic formula. Should it be add 3a to both sides? So you're saying quadratic formula. Should it be add 3a to both sides? Okay, let me know when you're ready for me to chime in. Because all of a sudden it got real quiet. Okay, Cindy says she's ready. Okay, Missy's saying she's ready. Mo's saying she's ready. Alright, so unknown saying subtract 3 from both sides and add 7a. So everything's on one side while having equals 0. Okay. So I'm saying 3/5 and -1. Okay, Evelyn, okay. So ready, looking for steps. Okay, Pog is saying 9 and -5 for your ACs. Okay. All right, so step number 1. We need for this to equal 0. So let us subtract 3 and add 7a on both sides. We can do more than one step at a time. Okay? So what happens, these will cancel to give me 0. So I have my 15a squared, okay, minus 3a plus 79 minus, or sorry, 7a, okay, minus 3 equals 0. All right, but we can combine like terms right here. So now we have our 15a squared. This will give us a positive 4a minus 3 equals 0. Okay. All right. So now, my leading coefficient is not 1 this time. So that means I'm going to be using my A, my B, and my C. My A is 15, my B is 4, and my C is negative 3. So if I multiply my A and my C, that will give me negative 45. And just rewrite my B, which is 4. Okay, raise this up just a little bit. So we need to think, what two numbers, if you're like, where's the negative 45 came from? We multiply the 15 and the negative 3. That's where the negative 45 came from. And then we just simply rewrote the B. So now we got to think, what two numbers multiplied together will give me a negative 45 and added together to give me a 4. All right. So what's happening? We have 9 and 5, but which one is going to be negative? Okay. So unknown saying negative 5, Andrew saying negative 5. Okay, Pog earlier said negative 5. Good. All right. So now I need to set up my ratios. Because my leading coefficient is not 1, I can go right into setting up my two ratios. The numerator is always your A value, which is 15, with the variable that we're using, which is A. And the numbers that we got as the factors goes as my denominator. So that's 9 and negative 5. So these two ratios, fractions, need to be reduced. So let's take one at a time. So 15 ninths. What do they have in common? Okay. We have in common. All right. So they both have 3 in common. Okay, so unknown, be careful. So if we have 3 in common, 15 divided by 3 will give me a 5. And 9 divided by 3 will give me a 3. Okay. For the other side, we have 15a divided by negative 5. What they have in common is 5. So 15 divided by 5 will give me 3. And negative 5 divided by 5, that'll give me a negative 1. Okay, good. So your ratio is basically your two parentheses. So here, our first parenthesis is going to be 5a plus 3. My denominator of 3. For the second parenthesis is dealing with the second ratio. So the second ratio has 3a minus 1. And it still is going to be set equal to 0. So for those who said that it couldn't be broken down, we were able to break it down. So now all you have to do is set each of your ratios equal to 0. So you have your 5a plus 3 is equal to 0. And you have your 3a minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay? Yeah, a lot of people don't know too much about the AC method, which is a shame. Because a lot of people will find the factors and then they would replace the middle term and they would do by grouping. Okay. Oh, thank you for the gift, Scott. So what do I get for here? I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides and then divide by 5. So that means A is equal to a negative 3/5. Same thing's happening here. I'm adding 1 though. So then I have 3a equals 1. So that means A is 1/3. So negative 3/5 and 1/3. Can I explain the AC method? Sure. So with the AC method, where it comes from. Let me see if I can grab a separate piece of paper. Oh, found one. Okay. So when we're here, you're looking at what's called standard form. Okay, so standard form has ax squared plus bx plus c. And if you notice, the numbers are associated with the a, b, and c. So my a, that's going to be 15. My b is a negative 3, so we always include the sign. And my c, oh, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking up here. I should be looking down here. So it's a positive 4. That's my B. Okay, so my A is 15, my B is 4, and my C is negative 3. So when we do the AC method, we're basically multiplying your A and your C, and you're rewriting your B. So my A and my C is 15 times negative 3. That's where the negative 45 came from. And then you rewrite your B, which is 4. Then you have to think what two numbers multiply to give me negative 45 and add to give me a positive 4. So then we have to think. So what we get is 9 and 5. But one of them has to be negative. If we make the 9 negative, that means we're looking at a negative 4, but that's not it. So we had to make the 5 negative. Okay. All right. This is not Algebra 1. It's really like late Algebra 1, beginning Algebra 2. Okay. Yeah, I'm not doing logs because we're going to actually end this live in a few minutes. All right. So once we get our factors, you always take your A, which in our case is 15, and the variable that we're using, which is the lowercase a, and I write it in two ratios. The answer that we got here, they're going to be the denominators of these ratios. So that's a positive 9 and negative 5. And then you would have to reduce. So once you reduce your fractions, 15 and 9, they both have 3 in common. So that means this is going to be a 5 and this is going to be a 3. Because 15 divided by 3 is 5 and 9 divided by 3 is 3. Over here, what do they have in common? So they have 5 in common. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. And negative 5 divided by 5 is a negative 1. So all we have left is those two parentheses. Each of these ratios is representing a parenthesis. So you have your, start with the numerator. So you have your 5a plus your 3. Here you have your 3a minus your 1. Okay. When am I live again? Tonight at 9:30. Yep, tonight at 9:30. Yeah, we're not gonna have time for another practice. All right. There you go, Netta. Hello, King Master. How are you? All right. Okay. Because if you make the 9 negative, that means we're looking, my middle term would be a negative 4. Because negative 9 plus positive 5 gives me negative 4, but we're looking for a positive 4. So that's why the 9 is not negative. Not a problem, Jordan. Okay. Not a problem. No problem. More than willing to do so. Okay. All right. So, as I mentioned before, okay, I'm going to have all zoop and shrink. Okay. If you go here, give me some time because sometimes TikTok takes forever to download, and I don't know why this would take that long because we weren't even really for an hour yet. But if you go here and go here, all of my lives that are recorded will go there. So I would love for you guys to do this, definitely this, and this, okay? So you can do that. Also, if you want to subscribe to my TikTok, that would be great because on Saturday at 10 a.m., I am actually going to be giving a mock practice test. So I'm trying to help people to lessen their anxieties as they're prepared. Like some people, especially college algebra, some of you guys are testing either next Wednesday or the following Wednesday, the 30th and the 31st. So I just wanted to get you guys some practice with some of the algebra that's usually found in all 4 of those exams. And it's 35 questions, 59 minutes. So the entry is like $10. If you want to learn more about it, you just have to go to my profile and just click on the first link that you see. It's there. And what happens is after you take the test for 59 minutes, what we're going to do is just be on Zoom for a bit and you guys are taking it. You're not asking me any questions. Oh, I got a question. Nope, we're not doing any of that. We're basically taking a mock practice test. So once the time is over, I'm going to hit record and I'm going to show you step by step how I did those answers. So if you want the replay or if you want the copy of the test that we're using, every session has a different test. Okay, so it's not the same test every time. That's just wasteful, right? So if you want the test, if you want the replays, and you want the answers, the cost of it is like $25. But if you are one of my TikTok subscribers, you will get it for $15. So I don't know about you, and my subscription here is free. I mean, it's really not that hard. Okay, so all you have to do is just give me one of your little orange hearts, which is usually like 1 coin, and then we'll be all set. Okay, so the next one is going to be happening this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, the next one is going to be Sunday at 7 p.m. and then the following Wednesday at 7 p.m. Okay, so we basically have like five periods soon. Sorry, got this whole sliding. Oh, that's cute, little piglet. Okay. All right. Okay. What? So how do you subscribe? If you go to your gifts, there's an orange heart. It's like 1 coin. You just click onto that, and there it is. Yep, there we go. Lex did it. What is this? Go here and go there. Okay. Yep. Never heard of the AC method? Yeah, I didn't name it after myself. It just, you're using the A and the C of that. All right, good. Okay, so we have that. You can go here to get the replays. And I think that's mostly everything I have. But if you want me as your online tutor, I also do small groups. And I know, especially with federal funding, a lot of the programs that did a lot with GED or any kind of ACCUPLACER or any kind of prep, they have gotten rid of. So, and I've heard of a couple more now in different states, not just where I'm at in Maryland. So if you are like that person that you were just about to take your GED and you were like, my God, they just basically took that underneath me, go ahead and reach out to me. Go ahead and send me a message, because I really want to help you follow through so you can get that GED. Don't let, no funds, federal funds, stop you from doing what you're doing. Think about all the work that you put in. You just have to finish out. So if you are thinking about taking your GED, your ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, the TEAS test, the foundational algebra, and you want like a self-paced course, just the course itself I have, which is like 107 different videos, and there's some practice problems for each of the concepts as well as quizzes. That's like 147. But if you want, and I know for the month of July, before you know it, I mean, we're already at the halfway mark right now. For the month of July, for $197, you can get the course and you would get 4 30-minute tutoring sessions. Okay, and that can be one-to-one, that could be group, it's all the way up to you. Okay, so again, you can find that here. And if you like the book that I have all this information in, great. All right, so this is my Ultimate Math Notebook. This is where we can put like all our notes in. We did a little bit of graphing last night. Okay, you have like a section to put your formulas. Whoops, sorry. You have a section to put your formulas. You have a section to put your steps if you ever need the reminders of your steps. In addition to all those, I have a factor sheet from 1 to 200. Okay, so it helps you with all your factoring, breaking down radicals, finding those factors, hence factor sheet. Then we have the rules of integers. Then we have order of operations, a lot of other resources to help you with your math quests. Okay, so if you're interested in that, yep, that's also right here. Okay, alrighty. So I know today was relatively short, because I have clients, so it's all like I gotta fulfill these things. But I will be here at 9:30 tonight doing something. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's going to be logs or if it's going to be exponentials. It's going to be something. All right. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to message me. And I will definitely message you back. Alrighty? Okay. Thank you so much for the attention. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate that. I know I haven't been pushing likes so much lately. I know I have to. But I just rather you get the information for right now. Alrighty? So I will catch you guys at 9:30 tonight. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.